All right, I have not done a video in a long time. Unfortunately, parts delays and stuff. We were waiting forever for welding gas and it took like 2 weeks and they still couldn't get a G-size bottle, but I got an E instead, which is great. Had that bat flu and yes, better now, but super cold Melbourne air during winter. It's really hard to get out in the garage and breathe that stuff in when you're recovering from that. So that's all done now. Just been super busy with work, but found some time over the last couple of weekends to do some little bits and pieces. I don't want to just, I know you guys like really love videos every week and all that kind of stuff, and but I don't want to just put up a video for the sake of putting up a video, if you know what I mean. If I want to put something online, I just want it to actually have some kind of substance to it. So I don't want to do a video and just, here's me welding, you know, half a dump pipe for 30 minutes. That's just nonsense. So I'll give you a quick update of where everything is at the moment, and then hopefully in about 2 weeks we should be back into some kind of normality with with actually having everything. So in terms of, first of all, in terms of the RX7, it lies here with nothing in the engine bay, but if you haven't seen already, we have our Billet engine, and there it is, Billet Pro. So I built this 2 weeks ago, I think, and what you'll also see here is it's a mid plate, but it's not a mid plate. It's direct out of Puerto Rico from NC Transmissions. It's a plate that basically bolts to the 13B here, and then at the back half you just bolt Chev stuff up. So I don't know if that means now that opens up the door to rotary guys that want to run bolt together converters, which you'll see really popular in the States and for everyone that's Chev now, because essentially what it means is up here on the mid plate I have a Chev flex plate, a Chev bell housing, Chev starter motor. It's all Chev. So essentially from here back, it's Chev, and from there forward, it's rotary. So I think that might mean, yeah, if you want to run a bolt together converter, you're in luck. And yeah, you might be able to run one behind a rotary, because most of the other stuff that still utilize the Mazda flex plate, it's too small to work with where the starter motor sits in that to run a bolt together, but don't have that trouble now. So yeah, you might, I can't remember even what I did with videos, but obviously we painted the engine bay, got my new DeWalt light up there, which is killer. Got some more tools here, some new stuff, some green and a bit more yellow, and even some red finally, because that's just the flavor of the month, isn't it? Everyone loves a bit of red. But yeah, so done a bit of welding. Here's some stainless. This is an oval pipe, or it's two oval halves that I sort of joined together. And the reason I have that, you can see I haven't done any of the RX7. When the last race in April, I've just pushed it in here and haven't done anything since. So, but yeah, essentially the next update is for the Barra. So from basically the transmission back, I've done nothing. Up this end, everything's sort of mounted. You can see how much clearance there is here. People are going on about how tight it is, but I cut more out than was needed on purpose, so I didn't have to cut multiple times. But back here, I've made a transmission cross member, so that pinches over here on the rail perfectly, and in here is going to be drilled with tube and that, so it can't crush it at all. And I'll probably stitch weld all here to reinforce everything. And yeah, it's just like a Super Pro bush with some tube, and then another tube that I bent up to here. On this one that I do over here, I might do 2 tubes across. There's one here because this is where the oval pipe will come to ensure there's max clearance here, because I don't want to have the exhaust hanging down lower than it needs to. I want it all tucked up. And speaking of exhaust, here it is. So this is bits and pieces that I had lying around. It's basically 4-inch dump pipe, 4-inch cat. This is 3.5. So basically from the cat back, it'll all be 3.5. This is 3.5, like a aero chamber muffler, pretty common with big power sort of street cars to run these kind of things. This exhaust is a whole bit of bits from stuff that I just had lying around absolutely everywhere. So I think it's made out of like mild steel, 304, 316, you name it, it's got it. So easy enough to weld, you know, mild steel and stainless together. You just use like 309L rod with the TIG. But yeah, the real heroes of all this are that and that. My welders before, I always thought, I've talked about this before, that like, yeah, my welding wasn't great. And I'm not saying my welding is great. However, this has just been an absolute superstar. You know, I've been able to sort of really get a fair bit better with a lot of the welding that's been done. And it's a lot of it, well, all of it, I would say, a lot of it has just come down to, you know, that welder functioning the way that my old welders should have. And the MIG is just absolutely killer. It's just made stuff so easy to put it in position and tack and actually sticks. We were having real trouble with that before, but yeah, exhaust is all happening. The only part I'm really waiting for in terms of engine bay is a water-to-air intercooler, and you can see up underneath this guard, what I'm going to do is just in here is I'm going to run water-to-air intercooler. So the intercooler pipe will come down here, go across, go up into the water-to-air, go out, and then go into the Dominator Motorsports plenum. And what I'll do back in the back end of the car is this wheel tub is all rusted out, and I've got like 2 or 3 Mazda RX style radiators anyway. So I'll just lay one of those flat with like a 16-inch thermo fan on it and like a Davies Craig water pump, and just pump water back and forth, and it can cool here. I'll have the fuel cell still in the boot because I want this car to be practical. And if I do a drag and drive event, I don't want to use a trailer or anything either. But you know, if I've got a boot, I can put, you can put bags and spares and stuff like that in them anyway. Worst case scenario, you can put roof racks or something on the roof. So I didn't want to have a giant 76 litre sort of fuel cell in the middle of the boot to make the boot just useless. I still wanted it to be like a normal street car where, you know, what's your normal daily driver like? You pop the boot or whatever, you've got a hatch and there's room to put stuff in there. So I wanted this to be just like that, that if I want to go pick up parts or I want to go do something in it, you know, proper street car, not a race car that's got license plates. So yeah, that's basically where I'm at with everything at the moment. So yes, I know people love videos and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, I don't like just doing nonsense videos for the sake of it, just to put content out or whatever. You know, I do this for fun. So hopefully in a couple of weeks, we'll get back to a point where, yeah, I would say transmission should be back in about, probably about next 2 weeks or something, maybe, or so. And then I've got to get the converter modified to suit this setup, because it's obviously got to have Chev pickup points in that welder to it and that. So I'll have to get that done. So that might take a couple of weeks. I don't even know with this new setup if the tail shaft might be too long now or whatever. So that might need to get modified. So I'd say it's already, you know, it's basically the start of August now. Probably won't be out racing the RX7 until sometime in September, which is all right. It's super cold here. So the track, you know, in Melbourne is, you know, track temps are really, really, really cold. So, you know, it's not a bad thing that, you know, with a bit of sun on the track by September, we be out there. But when we go back out with this thing, I'll be absolutely sending it. So, you know, the tune-up seems to be in the window and that, so I'll just be giving it everything and anything as soon as it can take it. RX4 is just a long-term project. It'll get done bit by bit, by piece, but yeah, I don't want to do a video on like just here's the video for the week and it's 10 minutes of me just, I don't know, tack welding a dump pipe together or something, or just talking nonsense. So all right, I think that'll about do it. That's pretty much where we're at. If you're still watching and you're still subscribed, thank you. We're getting close to actually 10,000 subscribers, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, hopefully come September, we'll be back on the content train and back on the racing train, and it'll all be good. So until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.